take a break and snack.
Hey, if you're watching this video, my name is Jim, and I'm gonna make a video here about travel trailers and specifically about your battery and the importance of your battery, especially if you're not plugging in. Now, I think the RV industry is a scam, selling things to people so they can go from RV park to RV park and plug in. They don't tell you anything really about your battery. They just give you like a 12 volt quote deep cycle battery. It's probably not really a deep, it's probably, you know, it's a lead acid, not a true deep cycle battery. Anyway, okay, let me get right to it. This is interesting. Last night the temperatures got, it's like June 22nd to 2016, and I'm at 1,000 feet in the Umpqua National Forest. It's incredibly beautiful. I'm sorry to zoom in. Like, what I'm trying to show you is condensation beads on the propane tank. Now this is something, it went down to, even though it's June 22nd, at about 1,000 feet, it went down to about 33 degrees last night, which was not forecast, and I would not be out here if I'd known that was going to happen. And total disaster was avoided. But what propane tanks will do is they will get, in temperatures like that, it's hard to see the beads. They'll get condensation, and especially around places like this, if it condenses and freezes, your seals are not going to do very well under that kind of condition. That's just, you know, one thing. Okay, they probably also don't tell you that at the RV dealership, but they do tell you that liquid propane. Whatever. Let's get to these batteries. These are two Trojan T105. Each of these is a 6-volt golf cart battery. This is actually these are actually true deep cycle batteries. And by doing something called, I'm just gonna call this, what you do is you wire these two batteries in series, and this gives you a little bit more of a deep cycle. It probably gives you, let's say, at least a third longer battery capacity than if you had two 12 volts in parallel. So I'm using slightly technical language, but for this stuff, okay, for this battery stuff, it's enough to know that what the crap that you get at the RV dealership and those regular 12 volts that say marine deep cycle are crap. It's not a big deal. These are Trojan T105s, and each one of these was about 150 bucks, and very well spent, because you get at least a third more battery capacity. You can theoretically bring that when you're using your battery, you can theoretically use it down to a lower charge without injuring it as much. Although I'll say right now that the full charge on a Trojan, full charge on a 12 volt battery is a 12.75 volts. And when your battery is reading 12, you don't want really even a deep cycle battery to get under 12, not at 12.2 volts before recharging it. Under 12.2 volts, it starts to do permanent damage to the battery. You can see these Trojans have these little fillable, these caps on them. This is where a mixture of sulfuric acid and distilled water goes, that creates the magic, the chemical magic that is your battery. And then underneath that, I don't know if you can see in there, you can see a little water reflecting, but basically the level is right, the level has to be above the plate, the electrode plates, no matter what, or you're going to be screwed, or basically the well, I just did what was kind of a level check, which is something you do monthly on these things. I'll just show you how these are wired in series. This is the positive. You get the positive lead coming in onto one positive on one battery. You get the negative lead coming into the negative on the other battery, and then just on the other connection you have a positive to a negative. Think about like a flashlight with two batteries in it, where you put them both in series, one after the other, and it's similar to that. Anyway, doing that instead of two 12 volts with these Trojan T105s are great batteries. For more technical descriptions of how to do this, go to the Trojan battery website, or there's other videos that explain the mechanics of this battery stuff a lot better. But just, you know, FYI, if you're going to think about doing boondocking, or if you're going to actually use your RV in I think, you know, go outside the RV park, learn about your battery, learn about battery capacity. There's some really great information on the internet that I don't know. I'm not really that mechanical, but I was at least able to rig this together. So the other really critical thing here, I think, to owning one of these trailers is learning about your batteries and getting one of these multimeters. I'm going to call it a multimeter just because I like calling it that. My wife is now holding the camera. If it's shaky, I think you can go ahead and get that popcorn grease on the camera. It's cool. It's cool. It's an old camera. Okay. This is a multimeter. It looks extremely intimidating, maybe, and it has, you know, a zillion settings. You can get one at Harbor Freight for like 25 bucks. This thing will give you the readings that you need to know I mean, this is a nice thing about dispersed camping or boondocking. If really you never see many people at all. You probably hear the river in the background. That's lovely. It looks very intimidating. It's $25 at Harbor Freight. You know, maybe it's 35 bucks. I would get the cheap one. There's a zillion different settings, but I put it on the volt setting and on the number 20. So I'll turn it on and I'll put it on the volt setting and the number 20. And this setting on there, on this particular multimeter, for whatever reason, I think because you've chosen increments of either 10 or 20, and you're in the DC volt range, is what that means. There's different symbols on different multimeters, but what this will allow you to do now is take these two prongs and go over to the battery, and this is just a really critical thing. You're not going to electrocute yourself. Okay, alright, first of all, disclaimer, you might electrocute yourself and kill yourself, I don't know. But I do this stuff with the power on all the time, but don't. Because you might kill yourself. And I might right now, you might be watching a snuff film in a minute. So what you want to do to test the level of your battery, and this is a true test because you're not taking it from the inside or reading it like the little level indicator inside that says 12, 11, or 10. Totally stupid. I mean, why can't they give you like something in the damn camper where you can just read the battery level by just looking at, instead of taking off the battery boxes, rigging up a machine that you shouldn't know how to use, but you have to learn. You take one prong and you put it on one battery at the positive or negative end. You take the other prong and you put it on the other battery at the opposite of the, so this one is on the negative. Actually, you have to do it where the trailer negative comes here. I put this prong here. Red, yeah, I should do it like this, but it really doesn't matter. The black on the negative where the trailer ground comes in on this battery, and the red on the positive where the trailer positive comes in on this battery. All of us, now you can see on that multimeter, it's reading 12.39. It's actually, well, 12.39 is better than 12.2. But anyway, that reading gives you it will tell you exactly what your battery state is. As far as I know, there's really no other way to get that exact reading. That's something that you can do once you get your trailer. You can go back and forth using these kind of things, and once you get to learn the different settings, you can learn what loads are taking what draws off that. But I'm going to just end this video because I don't know a ton about multimeters or batteries, but I do know that just one of these and a little bit of battery knowledge can really extend the light. Then you can really learn about, if you zoom it, you can really learn about the systems and how long you can learn. You know, your heater blows cold last night. Learn about how long you can learn, you know, all your stuff responsibly, so that you're not going below that 12.2 level. That will injure the battery. Not going to get into all the other stuff about battery maintenance. There's a bunch of other good videos. One thing I did have to do, I don't know if this is a tip or not a tip, but last night I realized we were going to have to be running the heat. It was cold. It was like 30, it's going down to 33 degrees. Arguably we shouldn't have been out. Whatever. I noticed that I thought it was going to go below, the battery might go below 12.2, running the heater blower all night. So I plugged in the truck for about an hour, which your alternator from that truck does charge your trailer battery. You can actually take a reading while you can. Another thing this multimeter lets you do is you can plug your truck in and then read your batteries, and they'll read something like 13.8, 13 point, whatever your truck is charging at, your batteries are charging. And then, you know, after about an hour of that, I knew I was going to be able to safely run my heater blower and not tax that battery too much. So little stuff like that. If you have a multimeter, you'll know, for example, that your alternator is working. All right, you know, multimeter, great thing if you have a travel trailer. The RV industry is a total scam. I mean, I don't know how they can sell you one of these things and not also include a multimeter. There's like a levels indicator on the damn wall where you flick the thing, it says 12, 11, or 10. Like that's supposed to be at all useful. So I guess there goes a Forest Service vehicle. Just, you know, FYI, if we were doing something illegal, we hear about it right now. So here we are boondocking legally in the Umpqua National Forest. Thanks for watching my video about the multimeters and the batteries. I hope this helps somebody.